name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So we've been going over the 60th anniversary season poll, and I do keep getting derailed by how obviously they're changing the way they're tabulating the votes to make Jodie Whittaker seem not crushingly unpopular, right? It's just very obvious, right? It is very. I mean, maybe they don't even realize they're doing it, but they're not just let you vote for all the stories and whatever falls where, wherever it falls. Used to be Colin Baker was all at the bottom, right? That used to just be the way it was. People, could cope with it because I think, they Colin Baker's Doctor Who, did it destroy Doctor Who? Not really. Nearly did. It's amazing that it didn't actually. And don't get me wrong, I love Colin Baker's Doctor Who, okay? I'm not dissing Colin Baker's Doctor. Well, I am a little bit, I guess. But it's there was a lot of problems with it. Michael, go get the season 22 Blu-ray, and they should be giving me comps really because I plug them all the time. Get the season 22 Blu-ray with the interview with Michael Graydon. That is fascinating, right? And I was surprised how much I agreed with him, right? He said it was really just tatty and beyond its sell-by date at that time. And they were putting in gratuitous sex and violence, like, squeezing Perry into spandex, which, don't get me wrong, my 13-year-old self very much enjoyed. Oh my God. Maybe not my dry cleaning bills, but maybe not my mother. What's happened ever since Doctor Who's on? Or your socks seem to be very crusty. I don't know. No reason, Mum. No reason. I don't know. By the way, I'm recording this intro on Thursday, June 8th. We just heard last night that Bonnie Langford is back. I was miffed when she turned up. I mean, have you ever read the book, The Life and Scandalous Times of John Nathan Turner? It's very good, by Richard Molesworth. Really excavating the truth of that whole era. It's got interviews from everyone. There's a quote in it by Nicola Bryant saying, he dressed me like a gay man's idea of something somebody was sexy. Gay man and a 13-year-old boy. But both those things work. No subtlety whatsoever. We did enjoy it. Anyway, then Bonnie Langford turns up. I'm like, what? What? I mean, really? I guess I could just turn over to Buck Rogers, right? Who was the name of that? It was the Draconian Princess. Oh, we're talking about sweaty nights from my youth. Anyway, I digress. This has nothing to do with the Fifth Doctor, right? Nothing whatsoever to do with the Fifth Doctor. Let me go over the season of the Fifth Doctor. I was bitching because they changed the way they did it to protect Jodie. It's incredible. Stunning and brave Jodie Whittaker. Everybody protects her, right? She can't look after herself. But anyway, I digress. It's quite interesting nonetheless. Now, the Peter Davison stuff is really interesting because it's essentially static. What I like about it, they show you the 1999 poll, the 2004, 2014. So you get a nice look over the history of fandom to see how the sands were shifting. I find that fascinating, right? Not at all with the Fifth Doctor, right? Absolutely fascinating. Okay, before we get it, this comes from a live stream I did. Where was it? Sunday? I know, I've been sick this week, so I've taken a few days off. So I think maybe Sunday night I did. I can't remember. A few nights ago. That's what I'll say. A few nights ago. Can I ask you to like, share, and subscribe, especially on Rumble. Subscribe me on Rumble. Oh, you can subscribe on YouTube as well. Also on Twitter. Look in the video notes. You'll find all my stuff there. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Fine. Let me hand over to me from a few days ago. Right. Prideful pride, being prideful. There we go. Page overview. Doink. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Runaway Bride. I mean, that was a well-named article, wasn't it? Right. Fifth Doctor. Tom Spilsbury. Tom Spilsbury. If anybody can crunch numbers, it's Tom bloody Spilsbury, right? He knows what he's doing with the number crunches, right? He absolutely does know what he's doing with crunching those numbers. What's going on? Doink. Yeah, I just look at one. Fine. Now I lost my place over there. There you go. The Adventures of Doctor's Floppy Fringe Incarnation features the next phase in our survey, commentary by Tom Spilsbury. Now, I have to tell you, again, the way they're doing this is to hide how unpopular Jodie is, and that's the entirety of it, and pretty much everyone can see. So, Case of Androzani resolutely remains the most... Well, come back. Where's it go? Fact or fiction? Wait, come back! But okay. There you go. Thank you. Case of Androzani is always going to be the most popular. Earthshock number 2, 5 Doctors. Oh man, these are solid. Kinder moved up to number 4 spot 10 years ago, right? Sometime between 98 and 2009 came to the number 4 slot. And Enlightenment took its place number 5, right? From 5. Man, Peter Davison is static. Resurrection at number 6. Look at that. Visitation 7. Modern Dead 8. I think it's probably right. Right? Snake Dance 9. I wonder what that down from. It's only down from 8. It's about the same. Castrovalva 10, Frontiers 11. I think this is right. 12 is Awakening. Yep, come back. Yeah. 12 is Awakening. Black Orchid 13. Planet of Fire, Terminus. Arc of Infinity is climbed up 1 spot. Fort of Doomsday went down. I don't think that's fair. I think Fort of Doomsday is better than Arc of Infinity. King's Demon still languishing at the bottom. Warriors of Deep. This only thing you can say about itself is, at least I'm not Time Flight. Peter Davison as the Doctor. The Doctor carries a poisoned Perry Nicola Bright. Oh, that's one of my favorite. Oh, yes. Snuggle up, darling. Adric just worked it out. Prepares to meet his end in Earthshock. Boom! Richard Undell, Peter Davison, John Pertwee, and Patrick Troughton in there. 5 Doctors they're really only 4. Chameleon! Sea Devils invade Seabase 4. And the Doctor and Khalid, in fact, Master in... Oh, yes. Time Flight, everyone's favorite piece of shit. Fine, let's have a Butchers. Let's see what they got to say for themselves. Now, look at the design on this. I mean, I think there's a lot of real classic, beautiful design on these things. Although I do like the special edition of Enlightenment. But look at the costumes. I mean, these are just fabulous. To celebrate Doctor Who's 6th anniversary, we've invited you to give you a mark out of 10 of all 300 stories, and we're like fudging it so Jodie doesn't look so terrible. So there you can find out your favorite from every year of the show. We use the same scoring methodology for the first 3 previous surveys in 98, 2009, and 2014. This means we can directly compare the results of those polls to the latest ones and see how fan opinion has shifted over time. And I do like that. In this year's 5th and 6th Doctors, we're just doing the 5th one tonight. Where are we up to? If you look at the chart of Peter Davison's stories, on the previous page, there's probably no surprise that Swan Song, Case of Androzani is once again, look, it's the best story he did. It still remains the best story he did, right? I mean, he did a lot of good stories. That was the best one. Not only has it been consistently voted as the finest 5th Doctor adventure in 2009, it also managed to beat everything, including pipping the 10th Doctor Blink to the top spot. Exactly. However, if we look back even further, it's a slight shock to find that Case of Androzani didn't manage to win the Stevens that year's season survey. Why, mate? But it was actually Resurrection of the Daleks. Well, look how fickle we were. 84, sorry, I should say. Survey of 1984. When asked the readers their verdict. Their recently aired serials. Granted, the polling system we used was different back then, but we asked you to rank in preference and rather than give a score out of 10. But it was Resurrection rather than that came out in pole position. This did so much better as well for the new special effects. Ever since our inaugural All Stories poll in '98, it seems that the basic shape of the Fifth Doctor list has remained fairly constant. Yeah, I think so. And there's not much between. They're all pretty good. I mean, that's the thing. I think there's the most consistent quality is in the Fifth Doctor reign. In fact, 14 of the 20 Davison adventures take exactly the same position they did in 2014, while the remaining 6 flip positions with their nearest neighbor. Exactly. Suggesting that we've mostly made up our minds about the era's highs and lows. Exactly. There are not that many lows, right? I mean, here, let's look at the bottom ones. It was... Okay. As soon as we get to King's Demons, I'm like, oh, that's fine. I can watch that. Four to Doomsday is awesome. Freaking love Four to Doomsday. I get such a bad rap. But yeah, I can hardly watch King Demon or Four to Doomsday, Ark Infinity, Terminus, Planet of Fire, Black Orchid. Actually, I would put that at the bottom. Like Frontiers, Castrovalvus. I would happily watch any of these. Right? It's really the case. Where are we up to? Once again, it's more interesting to go back to the original season surveys of the 1980s to uncover how surprising shifts. For example, with the benefit of hindsight, it saw that Ark of Infinity wasn't more popular than Enlightenment. Well, it was more shocking, right? It was more like, oh boy, we got Time Lords. But I mean, I think Eternal is actually more interesting, right? It really is an interesting concept. While Enlightenment is sailing for high in the top 25%, indeed Enlightenment is one of those stories that seem to have been far more appreciated in recent times. It's the special edition, I think. It's now your favorite story from the season. And in 1903, it was soundly been by Snake Dance, Ark Infinity, and Mordred Undead. Blimey, well, Mordred does a good show. The exception of Earthshock. Did I miss something? However, the biggest example of what were DWM readers thinking is Kinder. Back in '82, it came at the bottom of the pile of season 19. Come on, it was a different time, right? We didn't realize what we were doing, right? I think you're being pedantic, mate. But I understand why. With the exception of Earthshock, although Kinder just misses out the place in the top 3, meaning it won't progress to the final round. Yeah, I mean, like, really, though we have any Jodie episode over bloody Kinder is a shonda, baby. Like, it's an absolute disgrace. There we go. So let's look at the top 3. Kaiser Andazani has a reputation of saying of an outlier. Which one? Where did 5 Doctors come again? Oh, right. It's in the top 3. Good. I'm glad it's in the top 3. Doink. Outlier in the Doctor Who canon. A story that fans adore, even though it doesn't often feel like Doctor Who at all. In a sense, maybe it was an early stirring of the sentiments that would later give rise in the New Adventures range. I think that's why I liked it, frankly. Namely, Doctor Who is great, but imagine what it could be like without the silly bits. I mean, yeah, and with a lot more people dying. I think, was it the BPD, that's the bullet per death ratio, was higher in case of Androzana than it was in like Death Wish or something. Like something crazy like that. Robert Holmes' gritty revenge tragedy is a bleak to the point of nihilistic. Even the humor, such a key part to Holmes' arsenal was mirthfully cynical stripe. Yeah, he wasn't a happy camper at that point in his life, obviously. The 4 decades on, Graham Harper's direction still feels like a shock to the multi-camera system. Yes, I agree with that. The funeral mood enhanced by Roger Lynn's menacing death rattle score. Oh, death rattle score. Yes. Wonderful episode. Like, wonderful story. It really is. Doctor Who, well, Earthshock is another tough, brawny story with a bagging score. Dun, 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 dun. And I love the Cyberman coming through the door is the best thing ever. Which freed Tom Baker's instinct to amuse the children. So Doctor Who finally giving the Star Wars generation what it wanted. Sci-fi spectacle and plenty of explosions. While fandom's chattering classes may hail philosophically chewy Kinder, which is very philosophically chewy, as the true jewel of Davis in first season. For Doctor Who magazine readers, it's not quite a match for the armies of Cybermen on the march and poor out. Well, listen, again, it was all the mic drop moments, right? In March 82. However, to overstate just how exciting Earthshock was, Kinder fans might feel justifiably aggrieved by being kept off the program by the shameless show pony, Five Doctors. Listen, it is JNT's finest hour, right? This is his finest era. Let him have his moment in the sun. But to any anniversary charm has grown over the decades. It's Carnival Parade. Get ready this November. I think we're getting the same thing. Nostalgia Squared. This time around, it's high regards, but also feels like a nod in part to, not in part at least to the great Terrence Dix's consummate skill in wrangling the production shopping list of requirements into a coherent story. Yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, really, he just, whatever shit they throw at him, he catches it, but makes it into a story that works and makes sense. You very rarely see that these days, right? If Cave of Androzani is the program at its most untypical, then Doctor Who, then the Five Doctors is pure distilled essence of Who. I tend to agree. And let's see what he's got to say about the last but not least, well, they are kind of are, really. Like, literally. Poor old Time Flight. With hindsight hijacking a 23 million supersonic jet and landing in the blasted Jurassic Heath of BBC Television Centre Studio 8 was going to be a big ass, especially for the fag end of a budget year. But look closer. I mean, this is all because he wanted to. John Nathan wanted to have pictures of him in front of Concorde, right? There's a decent Arabian Nights inspired tale to escape from beneath the production shortcomings. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's still shit. Yes, the plot is a muddle. The master plan is hopeless, even by his standards. Yes. Writer Peter Greenway, not as good as a director of, as we found out, was a decent ideas man. And the Zereth the guest organism and the war within itself, a sort of intriguing alien civilization that built entire Star Trek episodes around. In the end, you would expect having to incorporate both the Master and British Airways PR op proved too much. Yeah, I think so. Greenway might have had grounds for claiming it wasn't just Concorde that got hijacked. I do hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. So, yeah, I mean, look, the Peter Davison era is just so, solid, right? I mean, like, we all know, it doesn't move up and down in the rankings, right? My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet! Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.